Here's what nobody's telling you. Your muscles don't retire just because you hit 60. The weakness, the fatigue, the feeling like your body's given up, that's not age, that's neglect dressed up as inevitability. Your body's still listening, still responding, still capable of rebuilding strength you thought was gone. But it won't respond to the same approach that worked at 30. There's a smarter way. 8 simple principles that work with your biology, not against it. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. This is about independence, about carrying groceries, playing with grandkids, living on your own terms without asking for help. What you're about to learn will flip everything you thought you knew about aging and strength. Here's the thing most folks don't realize. Your body hasn't given up on you, it's just gotten pickier. After 60, your muscles become stubborn negotiators, demanding better terms before they'll grow. That protein you're eating, your muscles are now less responsive to it than they used to be. This isn't defeat, it's biology asking for an upgrade. You need around 25 to 30 grams of quality protein per meal. Think a palm-sized piece of salmon, 3 whole eggs with Greek yogurt, or a chicken breast with quinoa, not because you're weak, but because your system now requires a higher threshold to trigger muscle growth. Pair that protein with smart carbs like sweet potatoes or oatmeal, and don't fear healthy fats from avocados or olive oil. They're the messengers that carry the growth signal throughout your entire system. The real game changer isn't just what you eat, it's when and how consistently you feed those muscles. Your body's like a bank account that only accepts deposits at certain times. Miss the window after your workout, and you've essentially left money on the table. Within an hour of training, get 20 to 30 grams of fast-acting protein in your system. Whey protein works beautifully here, or even a simple tuna sandwich if you're old school. But here's where it gets interesting. Spreading your protein across 4 solid meals beats cramming it all into 2 massive ones. Your aging muscles can only process so much at once, so feeding them consistently throughout the day keeps that anabolic machinery humming along, turning food into functional strength that'll carry you through everything, from playing with grandkids to tackling home projects without a second thought. Nobody's asking you to become a power lifter or spend 2 hours grunting under a barbell. The truth that'll set you free? Your muscles don't care about the weight on the bar. They care about the challenge you're giving them. A wall push-up done with control and intention sends the same growth signal as a bench press if you're pushing close to your limit. Grab a pair of resistance bands, use your own body weight, or pick up some light dumbbells. 5, 10, 15 pounds. Whatever feels like effort by the 10th rep. Do a simple routine: squats holding onto a chair for balance, push-ups against the kitchen counter, rows with a resistance band wrapped around a doorknob. 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps, and you've just told your body it needs to adapt, rebuild, and come back stronger. The magic isn't in going heavy, it's in going further than last time. Add 1 more rep this week. Hold the position 2 seconds longer next week. Use a slightly thicker band the week after that. This is progression, and it's the secret sauce that keeps your muscles responding year after year. Your buddy down the street might be benching 225 pounds, but if he's been doing the same weight for 5 years, his muscles stopped listening ages ago. Meanwhile, you're adding a single rep to your body weight squats every session, and your legs are getting the memo loud and clear. They've got work to do, so they'd better stick around and get stronger. Here's the deal. Your body at 60 isn't broken. It's just speaking a different language than it did at 30. Recovery takes a bit longer now, and your joints have opinions they didn't used to voice. That doesn't mean you can't build strength. It means you've got to train smarter, not just harder. Forget the ego-driven lifts and jerky movements that worked back in the day. Now it's about controlled tempo. Lowering a weight slowly over 3 seconds, pausing, then lifting with intention. Think goblet squats instead of heavy back squats, resistance band chest presses instead of aggressive bench pressing, step-ups onto a low box instead of jumping movements. These aren't easier exercises. They're joint-friendly ones that let you chase progress without waking up feeling like you've been hit by a truck. Your joints are like old friendships. They deserve respect and care if you want them to stick around. That means giving yourself 48 to 72 hours between strength sessions for the same muscle groups. Not because you're weak, but because real growth happens during recovery, not during the workout itself. Listen to what your body's telling you. If your knee feels cranky, swap lunges for wall sits. If your shoulder's talking back, try band pull-aparts instead of overhead presses. Adaptation isn't compromise, it's wisdom. The folks who ignore these signals end up sidelined with injuries, watching from the bench. Meanwhile, you're still in the game, getting stronger month after month because you respected the physiology and trained like someone who plans to be doing this at 70, 80, and beyond. Your body doesn't know the difference between a gym and your daily life. It just knows whether you're using it or letting it rust. Those 20 minutes of strength training 3 times a week, that's the spark, but the real fire burns in how you move the other 167 hours. Walk to the mailbox instead of driving. Take the stairs instead of the elevator, even if it's just one flight. Carry your groceries in 2 trips with 1 bag in each hand instead of loading up like a pack mule and struggling through the door. These aren't workouts, they're deposits into your functional strength account. Every time you squat down to pick something up off the floor, you're practicing the same movement pattern you trained in the gym. Your muscles don't care if you're doing a goblet squat with a dumbbell or picking up a laundry basket. They're firing the same way, getting stronger from regular use. The beauty of structured daily movement is that it keeps your body in conversation with itself. Park a little farther from the store entrance. Stand up and move around every hour if you're watching TV or reading. Garden, clean, organize the garage. Anything that has you bending, reaching, lifting, and moving with purpose. Think of your great-grandfather who worked on a farm. He didn't need a gym membership because his entire day was functional strength training. You're not trying to become a laborer, but you are trying to stay physically engaged with your environment. The folks who separate exercise time from real life end up weak in the places that matter most. Getting out of a car, climbing onto a ladder, playing on the floor with grandkids. You're building a body that works for living, not just for looking at in the mirror. Here's what nobody tells you about building muscle after 60. The real work happens when you're doing absolutely nothing. You can train perfectly, eat like a champion, and still spin your wheels if you're cheating yourself on sleep. Your body releases growth hormone and testosterone primarily during deep sleep, and those are the very hormones that tell your muscles to repair and rebuild. 7 to 8 hours isn't a luxury, it's non-negotiable biology. Think of sleep as the construction crew that shows up after you've torn down the old building. Without them, you're just left with rubble. Go to bed at the same time every night, keep your room cool and dark, and give yourself a proper wind-down routine. Read for 20 minutes, skip the late-night news that gets your heart racing, and put the phone away an hour before bed. Your muscles are literally waiting for you to fall asleep so they can get to work. Recovery isn't just about sleep, though. It's about respecting your body's need for downtime between training sessions. After 60, you might need 48 to 72 hours before hitting the same muscle groups again, and that's not weakness, that's wisdom. On your off days, you're not being lazy. You're allowing adaptation to happen. Light walking, gentle stretching, maybe some easy swimming if that's your thing. These keep blood flowing without disrupting the recovery process. The folks who hammer themselves 6 days a week wondering why they're not getting stronger? They're stuck in a cycle of breaking down without ever building back up. Meanwhile, you're taking rest seriously, syncing your training with your body's natural rhythm, and watching strength show up week after week because you gave it the space to grow. Water doesn't get nearly enough respect in the muscle-building conversation, but here's the reality. Your muscles are about 75% water, and when you're even slightly dehydrated, they can't contract properly, recover fully, or grow effectively. You're not just drinking water to quench thirst, you're lubricating the entire system that makes strength possible. Aim for half your body weight in ounces daily. If you weigh 180 pounds, that's roughly 90 ounces, or about 11 cups throughout the day. Start your morning with a full glass before coffee, keep a bottle within arm's reach during the day, and drink a glass with each meal. When your urine runs pale yellow, you're in the sweet spot. When it's dark amber, your body's already compromising performance. Dehydration doesn't just make you tired, it weakens your lifts, slows recovery, and leaves your joints creaking like old floorboards. But hydration's just one piece of the foundation. Your entire lifestyle rhythm matters. Eating meals at roughly the same times every day keeps your metabolism steady and your energy predictable. Skipping breakfast, then crushing a huge dinner? That's a recipe for muscle loss and fat gain because your body never knows when the next fuel delivery is coming. 3 to 4 consistent meals, spaced evenly, tells your system it's safe to build and maintain muscle. Add in a regular sleep schedule, and suddenly you're not fighting your biology, you're working with it. These aren't glamorous habits. Nobody's going to applaud you for drinking water or eating lunch at noon. But they're the invisible infrastructure that makes everything else possible. The strongest 70-year-olds you'll ever meet aren't doing anything fancy. They're just rock solid, consistent with the basics that everyone else ignores. You can have all the muscle in the world, but if your joints won't move properly or your balance is shaky, that strength becomes useless, or worse, dangerous. Mobility and stability are the unsung heroes that determine whether you're strong in real life or just strong on paper. Think about it. What good is a powerful squat if your hips are so tight you can't bend down to tie your shoes without pain? Start every training session with 5 minutes of joint prep, arm circles, leg swings, hip rotations, ankle rolls. Then twice a week, dedicate 15 minutes to deeper mobility work. Sit in a deep squat hold for 30 seconds. Practice standing on one leg for balance. Hold onto a wall if needed. Do some cat-cow stretches for your spine. These aren't filler exercises. They're insurance policies that keep you training for decades instead of sitting on the sidelines, nursing an injury that could have been prevented. Stability work is just as critical, especially for preventing falls, which become genuinely dangerous after 60. Single leg exercises like step-ups, split squats, or even just standing on one foot while brushing your teeth train your body to stay balanced when life throws you off center. Add in some core work, planks, dead bugs, bird dogs, to keep your midsection solid and your spine protected during daily movements. The folks who skip this stuff, they're the ones who throw out their back picking up a grandkid or twist an ankle stepping off a curb. You're building a body that doesn't just look strong in the mirror, it moves confidently through space, recovers quickly from awkward positions, and stays resilient when the unexpected happens. That's the difference between strength that impresses people and strength that serves your actual life. Let's get one thing straight. You're not training to look good at the beach or impress anyone at a high school reunion. You're training so you can live on your own terms for as long as possible. Independence is the prize here. Being able to get out of bed without help, travel without limitations, play with grandkids without getting winded, tackle home projects without calling for backup. That shift in perspective changes everything, because vanity fades, but purpose endures. When your goal is maintaining autonomy and quality of life, you don't need monster weights or shredded abs. You just need consistent progress that keeps you capable. A man who can still climb a ladder at 75, carry his own bags at 80, and get up off the floor unassisted at 85 has won the game. That's what you're building toward, and that kind of motivation doesn't burn out after a few months. It carries you through decades. Here's the beautiful part. Progression at 60 doesn't look like progression at 25, and that's perfectly fine. You're not chasing records or competing with anyone. Adding 1 rep this month, holding a plank 5 seconds longer next month, walking an extra block without fatigue, that's progress, and it compounds into something powerful over time. Your body still responds to challenge, it just needs the right kind delivered consistently. The folks who quit are usually the ones who set unrealistic expectations and burned out chasing someone else's definition of success. You're smarter than that. You know that showing up 3 times a week with lighter weights and proper form will make you stronger at 70 than most people ever were at 40. This isn't about proving anything. It's about building a body that lets you keep doing what you love, with the people you love, for as long as you're breathing. So what's it going to be? You've got the knowledge, 8 steps that actually work, but information means nothing without action. Are you going to keep accepting weakness, or are you ready to rebuild what you thought was gone? Pick one thing today, 1 meal with real protein, 1 set of squats, 1 decision that says you're not finished. If you're serious about staying strong and independent, subscribe and hit that bell, because we're just getting started, And the next video might be exactly what you need to keep going. Your move.